Welcome to Love It or Leave It. This week, we're leaving it because I'm your guest host, Jared Goldstein. And I gotta say, after being a guest so many times, but not enough times, more times please, finally sitting in Lovett's seat feels terrible. It's like his ass is weird and has left very bad vibes under my ass. But I will forge ahead. But first, let's get into it. What a week. 93-year-old media magnate Rupert Murdoch got married for the 5th time on Saturday. Big age gaps in relationships usually give me pause, but all the same, here's wishing the best of luck to Mr. Murdoch and his 146-year-old bride. You know what they say, love is love is love is love is love is love. This guy had quite the succession of beautiful brides. Murdoch wed retired molecular biologist Elena Zhukova, the ex-wife of Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich. Reading much? Yeah. Also, by the way, okay, since I am a coward who is afraid of getting doxxed by the Marjorie Taylor Greene hive, I've brought my Cut It paddle, and whenever I hold this up, it's not going on the pod. We have an arrangement. It's not going on the pod. Watch this. My home address is... Marrying a molecular biologist? This man is planning to live to 300. Interesting fact, her biology studies mainly focused on the effects of sugar daddy on older women. Despite dropping out in March, Nikki Haley's zombie campaign staggered on, taking 8.6% of Republican votes in this week's New Mexico primary. Ron DeSantis has a zombie campaign. It's just a weekly email blast calling for gay people to be devoured by zombies. They're funny. They wrote that. The ghost campaigns of Vivek Ramaswamy and Chris Christie also took votes from Trump. Again, reading. Oh, I get it. They're ghost campaigns because it's a bunch of people saying boo to Trump. A federal judge has ordered Steve Bannon to surrender to prison by July 1st to begin his 4-month sentence for defying subpoenas from the House January 6th committee. The prison where Bannon will serve his sentence has begun preparing for his arrival, ordering several tubs of live mice to make sure he eats. For his part, to prepare for his sentence, Bannon has been subsisting entirely on toilet wine since 2004. You laugh, but it's hard to find natural orange toilet wine. Here's my girl. Marjorie Taylor Greene this week called on House Speaker Mike Johnson to shut down the federal government until New York overturns Trump's felony conviction. She also said this in an interview with prisoner-to-be Steve Bannon.
I think the American people have turned a corner after they watched that conviction come down in New York to the point where it's like, you know what? Screw New York.
Sounds like your aunt getting kicked out of a Broadway show for trying to touch Beetlejuice. And the crazy thing is, she was seeing The Lion King. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been on fire lately. She also made this great point this week.
Republicans continually have their head up their ass.
And can we get that one more time?
Republicans continually have their head up their ass.
Proving that a broken clock really is right twice a day. All week, conservatives have been openly calling for Republicans to attack any Democrats they can in whatever capacity they can, regardless of whether they have a connection to Trump's conviction. Lashing out blindly and indiscriminately because your favorite diva's taken an L? Republicans, happy Pride. In a text exchange with the New York Times, Steve Bannon said it was time for Republican prosecutors across the nation to make a name for themselves by prosecuting Democrats. The New York Times started to write something back, but then the three dots went away. Bannon is reportedly scared, panicking, showing it to all his friends. Is this weird? Meanwhile, the New York City Police Department is getting ready to revoke Trump's gun license now that he's a convicted felon. I am so glad I didn't know Trump had a gun license until it was almost over. This feels like getting off a plane and then finding out it was a Boeing 737 MAX. Meanwhile, 3 Trump operatives have been charged with forgery in Wisconsin for their roles in putting together fake elector certificates and delivering them to Congress in 2020. I know they were in the wrong, but it's hard for me to celebrate this one. Let men get creative. Let them do their little crafts. I'm ambivalent. I want to cry. I want to cry. I want to go home. We have 90 more minutes of this. I have so much shit to read.
Best word I've ever heard.
Thank you so much. Thanks, my mom. Give it up for my mom. Okay. I feel like I'm in one of those spelling bee TikToks. It's big words. Okay. I'm ambivalent about this news. It's good that they're facing consequences, but I'm honestly a bit worried about what this means for my fake elector certificate store on Etsy. The 3 men charged include Kenneth Chesebro, the architect of Trump's fake elector scheme. The other 2 men charged were Brody Baconbro and Steve Eggcellent. They thought I wasn't going to say that one. I'm not scared. I'll say it. On Wednesday, the Wall Street Journal published a report titled "Behind Closed Doors, Biden Shows Signs of Slipping." Why is that such a horny title? Like, Biden slipping into what? In the report, sources on both sides of the aisle expressed concern over the president's well-being due to his age. In this piece, Republicans, including House Speaker Mike Johnson and former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, called into question Biden's mental acuity. Yikes. Okay, 2 of our most impartial, reliable sources. Said McCarthy of Biden, "I used to meet with him when he was vice president. I'd go to his house. He's not the same person." Well, of course not. That was like 15 years ago. He's like 1,000 times hotter now. At a meeting about Ukraine in January, Biden allegedly spoke so softly he was almost inaudible to the attendees, in addition to reading notes, taking long pauses, and at several points, closing his eyes. The same report suggested that additionally, Biden's knees were weak, arms were heavy, and that there was even presidential vomit on his sweater, Mom's Spagodis. That's a song. That's from a song. However, Senator Patty Murray said on X, we really lost the battle on that one. They just wrote X. Boo! Turn on the producers. Boo! Senator Patty Murray said on X that she was interviewed by the Journal and affirmed Biden's behavior seemed normal during the January meeting, but was not quoted in the final report. Wow, Wall Street Journal, just ignoring facts that don't fit into your chosen narrative. Who are you? Me drinking a 3rd Celsius after the first 2 sent me to the hospital? This is P. I love the news. I feel like Walter Cronkite. This feels exactly right. This is breaking news, and I'm telling all of you. The White House publicly rebuked the report, saying in a statement, House Republicans are making false claims as a political tactic that flatly contradict previous statements made by themselves and their colleagues. Would the White House's statement have been stronger if it hadn't then launched into a long, rambling summary of a 1971 episode of The Mary Tyler Moore Show? Yeah, probably. 7 GOP senators also flatly contradicted the story in interviews with Politico. I'm holding for laughter. It's called professionalism. Also, came up with GOP. Stole it from Clueless. Like, come on. But still, with West Virginia Republican Shelley Moore Capito saying, in the 2 meetings I was in with the president, he was as sharp as a tack. There's only one thing that can transcend party lines, and that's the readiness of old people in power to insist that old people are fine to stay in power. Meanwhile, the ACLU vowed to sue after Biden unveiled his new restrictive border policy this week. Said the lawyer who fought Trump's similar order in 2018, a ban on asylum is illegal, just as it was when Trump unsuccessfully tried it. Yeah, Joe, there's no free pass just because you're a sex symbol. Trump later posted a video to Truth Social attacking Biden, not for the bill, but for the number of migrants arriving at the border. You know it's bad when Trump is giving you notes on how you're doing racism wrong. Said Trump,
now, after nearly 4 years of his failed, weak leadership, crooked Joe Biden is pretending to finally do something about the border. But in fact, it's all about show because he knows we have a debate coming up in 3 weeks.
I get why Trump's mad. One time, someone copied one of my tweets. An FDA advisory committee on Tuesday recommended against approving MDMA for treating post-traumatic stress disorder, saying there wasn't enough evidence that it's effective and that the benefits don't outweigh the risks. To which I say, keep trying. It'll hit. Take more, right? Nothing bad has ever happened. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will address Congress in the coming weeks at the invitation of the top 4 congressional leaders. Fun! I'm sure we'll all feel silly once he explains everything. Meanwhile, President Biden was asked in a Time magazine interview whether he believed Netanyahu was prolonging the war in Gaza for his own political gain and replied, "I'm not going to comment on that. There is every reason for people to draw that conclusion." Which I get. It's kind of like when people ask me if I think Lovett will get kicked off Survivor first. I'm not going to comment on that. There is every reason for people to draw that conclusion. Just kidding. Lovett's going to last the whole time and come back full Yellow Jackets. Just a traumatized cannibal lesbian. Always looking out the window in the crooked offices. John? The Colorado GOP tweeted, "Burn all the pride flags this June. Nice try, Colorado, but the only thing gayer than a pride flag is a flaming pride flag." In entertainment news, Tom Hardy appeared in the new Venom: The Last Dance trailer, which to me and my family is porn. And crazy coincidence, this is what I sound like when I come. That's why you book an actor, babe. Yeah. And in a perfect transition, Lady Gaga on Tuesday denied rumors that she's pregnant in a TikTok video with the on-screen caption, "Not pregnant, just down bad, crying at the gym." As someone who's been not pregnant and crying at the gym my entire life, representation matters. Pause up, baby. Taylor Swift left a comment on the video, writing, "Can we all agree that it's invasive and irresponsible to comment on a woman's body? Gaga doesn't owe anyone an explanation, and neither does any woman." Said Gaga, "Stay out of this, you fat bitch." Favorite joke of the night. So funny. So good. Dolly Parton announced this week that she's writing new music for Hello, I'm Dolly, a musical based on her life, which she is hoping will hit Broadway in 2026. Hello, I'm Dolly is better than the original title, Eyes up here. George Clooney called the White House to defend his wife, lawyer Amal Clooney, from Biden's criticism of the International Criminal Court after she advised it to issue arrest warrants for Israeli officials. That's how you get George Clooney to call? Hey, Amal, stay out of this, you fat bitch. New trial findings have shown that a male birth control gel seems to safely and effectively reduce sperm production when applied to the shoulders daily. But this only works on a select few who have their balls attached to their shoulders. Boeing successfully launched its first manned space shuttle this week. Oh, because planes were going so well for you? Boeing, babe, let's revisit our priorities. How about a plane door that doesn't fly off? But I do understand pivoting when you're bad at something. I didn't get into stand-up because I was so good at acting. Oh, they feel bad. They're on my side. You support my acting career. I love you. Yes, thank you so much. In other out-of-this-world news, the SpaceX Starship made its first successful test flight without exploding this week, after aerospace engineers rubbed male birth control gel on its shoulders. Interesting fact, the shoulders on a rocket, not where you think they are. I'm gonna do I was doing middle part, but now I'm gonna do side part. Let's see if it affects the news events. Oh my God, the news is changing. Okay. The FDA announced it has reversed its ban on Juul e-cigarettes while reviewing new information from its manufacturer. This is like Obergefell v. Hodges for the TikTok generation. Congratulations, kids. Love wins. Okay, clap if you didn't know what Obergefell v. Hodges was. Oh my God, a lot of you. Okay, shame on us. That's bad. Okay, cool. Happy Pride, right? Yeah. Special K has put out a limited edition cereal box featuring cookbook author Molly Baz at 39 weeks pregnant, whom the company says is the first ever pregnant woman to appear on a cereal box. Sounds like Molly went with Special K instead of Plan B. The limited edition cereal will be called Special K, Oops, All Placenta. Sorry, not impressed. Wake me up when there's a Cinnamon Toast Crunch box featuring a woman taking an abortion pill. She's not ready to be a mother. She eats Cinnamon Toast Crunch. A new lawsuit alleges health soda Poppy is basically sugared water, despite its claim to be a good source of prebiotic fiber. In response to a similar lawsuit against Celsius, I said, I don't care, I didn't hear you. And finally, dermatologists have reported the first U.S. case of a rare form of ringworm fungus that can spread sexually, which has mostly been found among gay men in Europe. Sounds like "Give me that worm" has a whole new meaning. And now, a little segment we're calling America's Least Wanted. This week, we're once again headed to Montana, a state blessed with natural beauty and cursed with truly batshit Republican lawmakers. Our GOP diva girlina of the week, it's Representative Ryan Zinke. If his name rings a bell, that's because you may remember Zinke as the Trump administration's Secretary of the Interior. He was appointed in 2017 on Donald Trump Jr.'s recommendation, which makes sense because Ryan Zinke is the kind of guy who only seems responsible and trustworthy if you've been doing massive amounts of cocaine. Zinke ran the Interior Department his own way. Was it a good way? No, obviously not. But it was his own way. One of his first orders of business was trying to eliminate 4,000 jobs from the department and reassigning staff who had been outspoken about the dangers of climate change. Okay, this is so bitchy, I actually have no choice but to support. He basically said, if you're gonna talk about my best friend climate change like that, then you can fucking leave. In 2017, Zinke wanted to lift the import ban on big game trophy hunting, meaning that American hunters would be allowed to bring back animals like elephants they killed in Zambia and Zimbabwe. Look, I know on the left we're prone to calling Republican politicians Disney villains, but very rarely do we actually have one actively advocating for the right to kill Dumbo's mom. Big Dumbo's mom fans. Too soon. Was it 1970 whatever? The bitch is dead. She's dead and gone. Okay, laugh. Dumbo's mom is a bitch. He also embarked on a multi-year project to decrease the official designated size of America's national monuments so he could sell the surrounding land to oil, gas, and coal companies. Shrinking national monuments so you can sell the land for profit? Why does everything Republicans do turn into some hillbilly Dr. Evil plot? Like a number of his colleagues in the Trump administration, Zinke was the target of multiple ethics investigations that eventually led to his resignation. Turns out he spent tens of thousands of dollars in taxpayer money chartering private jets and helicopters, made shady backdoor deals involving public lands, and repeatedly lied to federal investigators. That is so freaking annoying because I was literally planning on doing all of that, and now it's been done, I guess. It all goes without saying that his voting record on abortion is Samuel Alito level bad. Zinke has reportedly voted for nationwide abortion restrictions after years of saying that abortions should be left up to the states. The only thing that should be left up to the states is whether or not Raytheon gets a float at your local pride parade. And that's it, people. I did have to Google what Raytheon was. Also, and this is a tiny bit cunt, but Zinke is married to a woman named Lolita Hand. No disrespect, but Lolita Hand does not sound like a real woman. It sounds like a chat room username FBI agents use to entrap libertarian sex offenders. Montana, you deserve better. So if you want to learn how to fight Ryan Zinke and conservative villains just like him, then head on over to votesaveamerica.com/2024 to find out more. This has been America's Least Wanted.